This person just wants to argue with you, forgot where they came from. God doesn't like ugly. So, collective, this is your energy for November 1st. Happy November, Friday. Okay, I'm posting this on the 12th, at 12. All right. But that's the energy. This person just wants to argue with you, forgot where they came from. God doesn't like ugly. For some of y'all, it could be something that you need to let it be known. This person could be acting conceited or acting like their ish don't stink, or something about them, like you're just supposed to accept and forgive everything they do when they do it without any questions. But that's the vibe, so I'm about to get into it. If that's something you're resonating with, let me know in the comments. But let's pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the glory and the power forever. Amen. Thank you so much for being here. And let's just tie into this story, what's going on. This person wanting to argue with you. I feel like what happens with this argument is they try to offend you and you just don't get offended. They're mad that you don't get offended because they want to disrupt your peace. I feel like for some of y'all, it's not even about constantly forgiving. It's just like you were never upset to begin with. So on the one hand, it's like they want to upset you so you can keep having to forgive them, and then on the other hand, you never got upset to begin with. It's just them. What they do is their business. So I'm just gonna get some more energy for this collective. But they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the children of Israel. So Manasseh did come up in a previous reading for Crybaby's Pity Party a little bit earlier in the week. We're in day 7. Yeah, this is day 7. Okay, so a little earlier in the week, it came up. Manasseh, something like Joseph begat Manasseh. So this could be something happening from a child, or someone that you rose or taught, or someone that's learning from you. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. I'm really trying to see this from a different angle, like someone teaching you something or teaching you how to end it all. For some people, it sounds a bit toxic. Whoever's following this, they might not realize what kind of path they're going down because they didn't really do the research. Follow justice and justice alone, so that you may live and possess the land the Lord your God is giving you. Like maybe following someone else's fight or plight isn't really working out for them because this person hates its own followers. Someone who takes a person against their will. This person is a kidnapper. And I feel like it's the devil for a lot of people. They chose to follow the devil. And I'm just trying to say it in a different way so that it can reach different ears. Like, why do these Satanists think that worshiping Satan is going to get them anywhere in life? I really don't understand. You have grim, dreadful here. I really want to know how this applies to your story or your situation. For thus saith the Lord, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations, publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Lord, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. And what I'm getting from remnant is like the small amount that's left. Because we were talking earlier in the week about You separating a crowd, going viral, separating a small percentage of this large crowd and becoming more exclusive with it, with that energy and the teachings that you're spreading this word with. So that's coming up right now. And also, I feel like you're rejoicing while this other person is suffering. You're rejoicing because you're following God, and they follow Satan disguised as God. They follow the Antichrist. God understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. Yeah, God knows who you are and what you are, and that you're following him. For some people, I don't know. I can't talk to everybody. Like, everything's on the fence, I feel. And some people don't want to be seen and pointed out. Some people could be cross-watching this energy. But I feel like somebody is pretending to worship the devil because they're scared of God. Like how Peter renounced or denounced Christ as he was being taken away. When a second ago he chopped off a soldier's ear to fight for him. Or was that another disciple? But it's like the energy is all over the place. Like they're so gung-ho and supportive in the light, but in the darkness or in the dark, they're supportive, but in the light, they like, oh, I don't know you. And that's what I'm getting from this energy. Like someone is worshiping the devil because they're denying God, but they don't realize that there's no hideout. If you're worshiping the devil, that's what you're doing. You can't secretly worship God. God says, don't put your light out. That God says, put your light on the, basically like put it in a high place so that people can see it. This is how we know what love is. Jesus laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers. So it's like, people will lay down their lives in different ways. But this is not the death that God is talking about. Not the physical death. People will kill their spirit because they're afraid of physical death. And that's sad because that's more painful. To die when your spirit is dead is more painful than a physical death, because a physical death you can rise back up if you believe. It's not for everybody. All you need is a mustard seed of faith, and you have the ability to rise back up. I mean, this is a spirit world, so most people probably do believe in resurrections and reincarnation and things like that. But for somebody who sacrificed their own soul, there's no chance of them being risen back up. They're gonna go down and stay down with the devil. But this energy is coming up like somebody gave their life for Satan, and they're thinking that they can just change their mind and come back to God, but they've already gave their life to the devil, and the devil's not letting go. I will put my spirit within you and you shall live. And also another thing with that energy is, how do you think God is going to save you if you keep rejecting God? You keep rejecting Jesus, but then you think he's going to save you. You have to accept him in order to be saved. You reject him, he rejects you. The valley of dry bones, like, look at this, is a cemetery. It can't be said no other way. They said they don't care about Jesus. I heard it clear as day. You can't take those words back. It is what it is. And I accept that they don't care about Jesus. Employment change. So some of y'all could be changing your employment. If people just aren't listening, if they're just not hearing you, then you're going to have to go somewhere else. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. You're going to go somewhere where you actually feel the support in the air. Oh, I'm listening to, I don't even know why I'm getting caught up. I'm hearing his cane like I thought it was rain or something. Okay. Yeah, you're going to go somewhere where you actually feel support in the air and not just a bunch of gargoyles and gladiators fighting demons and invisible ghosts. Like, that's the vibe. With God, all things are possible. That's how I feel like someone's going into the mountains. That's so distracting. Like, I'm not about to complain about some old people walking with their canes, but some people do just want to draw attention to themselves one way or another, even if they don't have nothing to say, just making noise. Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way? Jesus replied, I am the way and the truth and the life. It's like this light is coming regardless of whether you got electricity or not. You're going to see the light. Regardless of whether the sun is shining or not, you're going to see the light because you're following Christ and you know exactly what to do in his situation. Jesus laid down his life for his brothers and sisters. He was not afraid of death. He rose back up. Some people are so afraid of death that they do all sorts of things in their life that jeopardizes their chances of ever being reincarnated. Like, can it be said any other way? Ace of Swords. Because once they go down, they don't want to come back. They're tired of running and running from their call and going up and down and up and down. But I feel like you're being shown something. This is Ace of Swords. Like, it's like you're cutting through all the fog. You're being shown something very clearly. I am a Tower of Babel. That's what it says. It was brick by brick built. No stones are here. When it got knocked down, they nearly touched the sky, but they fell back down. The name means confused. Because of me, people scatter everywhere. This could be an energy, an entity, a spirit of confusion. This person that wants to argue with you, they're doing it for the purposes of not. They want to fight you because they don't want you to be this high tower touching the sky, touching heaven. But I'm going to talk more about God not liking ugly. Something about them is ugly that God doesn't like. And they came from God, or they forgot where they came from. Did they actually come from God, or is this devilish energy? Because they want to go back where they came from, but they also want to sit in hell and have a conversation with the devil. But they want to be the devil themselves. That's just more comfortable for them because they're tired of getting kicked out of heaven. Every time they rise up, God kicks them right back out. You don't belong here. Arbitrary, whimsical. So it's something kind of goofy and clownish about them that might have been cute at first, but then it's like, okay, now this person really can't be serious. And it's sad. It's scary and it's sad. It almost comes off like a mental disorder. You have warm here. I'm about to say the color warm. The color warm. But that could be your tone, like the color warm, as in ultraviolet lights. Like red is a warm color. Orange is a little bit colder, but it's still warm. Yellow. Okay. Someone could be calling you boring. You have independent here. And confident. I'm not sure what order these came out, so I'm just going to put them in the order. Independent, confident. I feel like this is describing you. Is this describing you, the collective? This person wanting to argue with you, but we're clarifying that God doesn't like something about this person. It's something, I mean, God doesn't like a lot of things about a lot of people. And that's why we're all trying to change and become better people. Well, people that follow God, that's why. But this person doesn't feel like they should have to change. And that's kind of like that's like their whole life's purpose is not changing this thing about themselves. And that's what made them cross over to the other side. Okay. Where they came from. Let's clarify this. I feel like they might have come from a warm place. Yeah, the hell. That makes sense. Or maybe they're starting to accept that they are Satanists and that's okay. for them, but they don't realize it's really not. But they're going to get there. It's like you can see so far ahead of this person's life. The whole reason this person is even part of this story is because they're trying to pull you down with them. Trying to argue with you. And they want you to defend yourself and remain in a state of being in defense or a defensive state. This person is very immature, but I feel like they're older. Like I'm getting like, I want to say Gen Z. Maybe Gen Z is getting older. I'm not sure. But they're older. But maybe they're behaving like Gen Z. I don't really know what age Gen Z is. I feel like they're in their 20s. And I don't really like calling people out because of what generation they're in. But something came out about Gen Z. I thought this was Gen Z to clarify that they are older. But I'm talking about millennials, or what else is older? Like Gen X. So I don't know. Maybe they are Gen Z and you're just watching this like years later. It's a timeless reading. So let's see. Warm. To clarify warm, it's a group of people standing in the sun. And then 4 of chalices is the same sun withering this tree. Oh yeah. Okay. So it started off with this journey that Jesus went on. And we already know that the journey led to him being crucified. And I still get this vibe. The more I read this energy, I feel like some people could interpret Jesus as being the risen Satan, like Satan went to hell and he rose back up as Lucifer. I've never read that anywhere, but that's just the vibe I'm getting. That some people worship Satan instead of Jesus. When he rose back up, they believe that was Satan. And that's what I'm getting from this energy. Like the sun in the beginning was warm. And then, when the sun comes back, they say that Jesus is coming back as fire to burn everyone. That's Revelations. I sometimes read into that as being an asteroid or just global warming. That could be some people could be reading into this as global warming or climate change. I'm real careful about what I'm saying because I feel like it's just like changing this video. It's for entertainment ultimately, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Like in the beginning, we looked at the sun as being a warm and loving nurturer, and then once you see that people are getting skin cancer and there's whole states on fire, that they're looking at this warm loving sun god as a sun devil, but they still love it somehow because they only want the world to be destroyed. That's the energy. And then we have the hangman. Like they changed their way of thinking, they changed their perspective on life. So let's clarify this confidence, sure of oneself. It feels like ultimately they wanted to feel confident about themselves, and they feel more confident as a devil character. And then you have 6 of Cups in reverse. So it's like something that happened as a child, they go back to and double down on as an adult. And this is why they're coming off as this whimsical character that doesn't grow up. Very immature. Because they went back to their childhood. They keep going back and regressing into their childhood and doubling down on their thoughts. Like who you thought, what the types of thoughts that you had as a 2-year-old or 3-year-old or 4-year-old, however far they're going back, even as an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old is immature. Because as an adult, maybe this is Gen Z in the 20s or whatever, Gen X, millennials, you're supposed to have learned something new and develop, not keep doubling down over these childish thoughts. When you were a child, you thought as a child. As an adult, you think as an adult. You put away childish things. But some people are just like, no, I was right about that. He should have never took my candy and ran off like that. And I'm still mad about that. That's the vibe I'm getting here with the 6 of Cups in reverse. Clarifying your confidence, or whoever this person is, somebody going back to hell and just doubling down and setting up camp and setting down roots, laying down roots. 10 of water. How is this water coming to clarify? It feels like it's raining on their parade. It's putting out their fire, their passion. They're going to get depressed. They see this 10 of water as depression, like sadness. Even like kids and family and dogs and pets and all that stuff. Love, blessings. It makes them unhappy because they rather sit in the dark corner and brew. So this is in the playlist of Crybaby's pity party. So it's still happening. But you've left them behind. And you have 8 of water because you call on God. And you seek your comfort from the Lord. Not whoever this person is pretending to be. A savior of some kind. The devil. They want to take over the devil's position. And I feel like you're starting your life over. You're being born again. That's the difference here. Because somebody keeps going back to their childhood and saying, this is it. Like they refuse to die in some way. And they're saying, this is it. I'm not going to go back. Or maybe for some of y'all, it's like you don't have any childhood trauma. So you can just go back and think about things that are like, if you go back in time and think about looking at flowers and looking at butterflies, and that's science. You can come back into your adult life and say, okay, well, yeah, I did used to love flowers. Let me go out and buy a microscope and get a chemistry lab and start selling oils. And it brings you back to today. But somebody with childhood trauma, they go back in the past to an argument and a fight, and they just want to be the villain. They want to double down on that fight. Okay, so they never grow. That's what I'm getting. So I feel like with this independence, and there's no more cards that want to come out to clarify this, it's kind of like a separation. Because they can keep going and thinking about whatever they think, and you don't have to babysit their thoughts anymore because they've made a clear decision to be immature. So this could be a friend or a coworker or a social worker. Maybe you are a social worker because there's a lot. It feels like a babysitter here. You have pilgrimage. I'm also reading into this as ascension, and you going to the next level where this person is being left behind, constantly being left behind. But it's not just you. It's people that is leaving this person behind. So let's get some more energy. And then we're going to close up here. What was this again? Thomas. This is doubting Thomas. Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way? Yeah, like somebody, they don't really have a connection with God. It's like someone saying, oh, we all going to meet at the place. And they're like, well, where is the place? We all know the place because we're all on the same boat. So this is a no. A no is coming up. Doubt, speculation, and this is literally like doubting Thomas. And then you have a time period coming in August. It says missed opportunity. I didn't act when I should have. Something happened in August. Maybe it was a connection between you two. This person took too long to respond to something. And now, I don't know, it's just like some energy here that is too late. And they know that they missed the opportunity. And then you have 8 of Cups and close. This is your closure. But it seems like they walked away from you in the past. Or maybe this is you having to walk away from them because you realize that they're just argumentative entities. They have the spirit of argumentation, or however you say that, and it's just it's pretty much like you just have to wash your hands and walk away from this person. That's the energy that I have for this. If that's something you're resonating with, let me know in the comments what part you're resonating with. Like, share, subscribe, book a personal reading. What else? Join my members only. But yeah, that's the energy that I have, and I'll see you in the next one.